Ever wondered how barbecue ribs are made? These succulent, smoky delights have been tantalizing taste buds for generations, with their tender meat falling off the bone and rich, savory flavor. Beloved in countless cultures around the world, from American backyard cookouts to Korean barbecue joints, these mouth-watering morsels have become a global phenomenon. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through every step of the production process, from the careful selection of raw materials to the moment these delectable treats reach farms adhere to strict animal welfare standards, ensuring that the pigs are raised in humane conditions and fed a nutritious diet. This attention to detail results in meat that is tender, flavorful, and perfect for creating the ultimate barbecue experience. Interestingly, some factories have established partnerships with local farmers to ensure a steady supply of fresh, top-grade pork throughout the year. This not only supports local agriculture but also reduces transportation costs and carbon emissions. Once the pigs arrive at the processing facility, they undergo a rigorous inspection process. Trained veterinarians examine each animal to ensure they meet the highest standards of health and quality. Any pigs that do not pass this inspection are immediately removed from the production line. This stringent quality control measure helps maintain the reputation of the final product and ensures that only the finest meat makes its way to consumers' plates. Did you know that some factories process up to 1,000 pigs per day, with each animal yielding multiple racks of ribs? After the initial inspection, the pigs are humanely slaughtered and prepared for butchering. This process is carried out with the utmost care and precision, adhering to strict hygiene and animal welfare regulations. The carcasses are then cleaned thoroughly, removing any hair or debris that may have accumulated during the slaughter process. High-pressure water jets and specialized brushes are used to ensure that the meat is pristine and ready for further processing. Once cleaned, the carcasses are moved to the butchering area, where skilled workers carefully separate the various cuts of meat. The ribs are expertly removed from the carcass, ensuring that each rack is cut to the perfect size and shape. This process requires a great deal of skill and experience, as the workers must navigate the complex anatomy of the pig to extract the cuts without damaging the surrounding meat. In some factories, advanced butchering machines are used to assist in this process, increasing efficiency and consistency. These machines can process up to 50 racks of ribs per minute, significantly speeding up production times. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. With the ribs now separated from the rest of the carcass, they undergo a second inspection to ensure that they meet the factory's strict quality standards. Any racks that are damaged or do not meet the size requirements are set aside for alternative uses, such as ground pork or sausage production. This attention to detail ensures that only the finest ribs make it to the next stage of production. The selected racks of ribs are then moved to the trimming station, where excess fat and membrane are carefully removed. This step is crucial in creating the perfect texture and flavor profile for the finished product. Skilled workers use sharp knives to trim away any excess fat, leaving just enough to keep the meat moist and flavorful during cooking. The membrane on the underside of the ribs is also removed, as it can become tough and chewy when cooked. This meticulous trimming process can take up to 5 minutes per rack, depending on the size and complexity of the cut. Once trimmed, the ribs are ready for the flavoring process. This is where the magic happens, transforming the raw pork into the tantalizing barbecue treat we all know and love. The first step in this process is the application of a dry rub. This mixture of herbs, spices, and seasonings is carefully formulated to create the perfect balance of flavors. Common ingredients in these rubs include paprika, brown sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and various secret spices that give each brand its unique taste profile. The dry rub is applied to the ribs using a combination of automated machinery and hand application techniques. Large tumbling machines gently rotate the racks of meats while dispensing the seasoning mixture, ensuring an even coating on all sides. For more artisanal products, skilled workers may apply the rub by hand, massaging it into the meat to ensure maximum flavor penetration. This process can take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes per rack, depending on the complexity of the rub and the desired intensity of flavor. After the dry rub has been applied, the ribs are left to rest in a temperature-controlled environment. This resting period allows the flavors to penetrate the meat, creating a more intense and well-rounded taste profile. The duration of this resting period can vary depending on the specific recipe and production schedule, but it typically ranges from 2 to 24 hours. During this time, the salt in the rub begins to break down the proteins in the meat, resulting in a more tender final product. Once the resting period is complete, the ribs are ready for cooking. This is perhaps the most crucial step in the entire production process, as it determines the final texture and flavor of the product. Many factories use large-scale smokers to cook their ribs, replicating the traditional barbecue method on an industrial scale. These smokers can hold thousands of racks of ribs at once, slowly cooking them to perfection over several hours. The smoking process typically begins with a higher temperature to sear the outside of the ribs, locking in moisture and creating a flavorful crust. The temperature is then lowered, allowing the ribs to cook slowly and absorb the smoky flavor. Hardwoods, such as hickory, apple, or mesquite, are often used to create the smoke, each imparting its own unique flavor profile to the meat. The produce is cooked for several hours, with the exact time depending on the size of the rack and the desired level of tenderness. Some factories use a low and slow method, cooking the ribs at a very low temperature for up to 12 hours to achieve maximum tenderness. Throughout the cooking process, the ribs are regularly basted with a specially formulated barbecue sauce. This sauce is a carefully guarded secret recipe, often containing a blend of tomato paste, vinegar, sugar, and various spices. The basting process helps to keep the meat moist and adds another layer of flavor to the final product. Some factories use automated basting machines that apply the sauce at regular intervals, while others rely on skilled workers to hand-baste each rack for a more artisanal touch. As the ribs near the end of their cooking time, they undergo a final temperature check to ensure they have reached the proper internal temperature for food safety. This is typically around 71 degrees Celsius, which ensures that any harmful bacteria have been eliminated while still maintaining the meat's juicy tenderness. Any racks that do not meet this temperature requirement are returned to the smoker for additional cooking time. Once the ribs have reached the perfect temperature and desired level of tenderness, they are removed from the smoker and allowed to rest. This resting period is crucial as it allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, resulting in a more flavorful and tender final product. The racks are typically rested for 15 to 30 minutes in a temperature-controlled environment to maintain food safety standards. After resting, the products undergo a final inspection to ensure they meet the factory's quality standards. Skilled inspectors examine each rack for proper color, texture, and overall appearance. Any racks that do not meet these standards are set aside for alternative uses or further processing. This rigorous quality control process ensures that only the finest ribs make it to the packaging stage. Most factories use a combination of vacuum sealing and modified atmosphere packaging to extend the shelf life of their products. The ribs are first placed in specially designed plastic pouches that are resistant to punctures and tearing. These pouches are then placed in a vacuum chamber, which removes all the air from around the product. Once the air has been removed, the pouches are sealed and filled with a mixture of gases that help preserve the meat. This gas mixture typically includes nitrogen and carbon dioxide, which inhibit the growth of bacteria and prevent oxidation. The precise composition of this gas mixture is carefully controlled to ensure optimal preservation without affecting the flavor or texture of the ribs. The sealed pouches are then placed in attractive cardboard boxes or sleeves, which feature eye-catching graphics. These trucks are equipped with advanced temperature control systems that maintain the optimal environment for the ribs throughout their journey. Some factories have their own fleet of delivery vehicles, while others partner with specialized logistics companies to handle distribution. Interestingly, the global market for pre-cooked ribs has been growing steadily in recent years, with some estimates suggesting that worldwide sales now exceed £5 billion annually. This growth has led to increased competition among manufacturers, driving innovation in flavor profiles, packaging designs, and production techniques. Once the products reach their final destination, they are typically stored in commercial refrigerators until they are ready to be sold or served. Many restaurants will reheat the ribs using their proprietary methods, often finishing them on a grill or in an oven, to add an extra layer of flavor and texture. Some retailers offer the product as a ready-to-eat product, while others provide cooking instructions for consumers to prepare them at home. The journey from farm to table is a complex and fascinating process, involving countless skilled workers, advanced technology, and rigorous quality control measures. From the careful selection of raw materials to the final packaging and distribution, every step is designed to create the perfect barbecue experience for consumers around the world. The next time you sink your teeth into a succulent rack of ribs, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that brought this delicious treat to your plate. If you enjoyed learning about how barbecue ribs are made, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content on food production.